Okay, this video is going to be changing the microcontroller chip of a Micro 1000. First thing we need to do is open the door of the control enclosure. And we're going to take a piece of paper and pencil and we're going to record the current code settings. Just simply cycle through the codes, recording each of their settings. Once you've cycled through all the codes, we're going to disconnect power to the control box. In this particular case, we have a serial I/O board, which we're going to need to remove. We're going to disconnect the plug to the board, remove the screws that hold the board in place, and then remove the board from the assembly. This will expose the microcontroller chip, which is mounted in a socket. The microcontroller chip is the only socketed mounted chip in the Micro 1000 controller. Ideally, you're going to use a chip removal tool to remove that chip. You grasp the chip, pull it out from the unit. Once we have the new chip that is going to go back in, there is a corner that is flat on this chip. All the rest of the chip's corners have a sharp edge, but there's one side with a flat. In the socket, there is a flat. The label is always put on the chip to be read upright, as the chip would be installed into a typical enclosure. We put the chip down to the socket, line it up with the socket, and just seat it into the socket. We're going to put our serial I/O board back. It's just a matter of plugging it back into its holder, putting the screws back in that hold it in place, once we got all the screws in, we're going to reconnect the connector. We're going to inspect our wiring, inspect our connection, be prepared to power the unit back up. As we power the unit up, every time you replace the microcontroller, we have to reset the E² PROM in the controller. Therefore, we have to hold the exit button as we power up, which does a hard reset of the microprocessor. You'll hold this exit button. Eventually, this display is going to say reset, at which time you can let go of the button. It's going to go through its initialization process and then go to code number 2 with a data value of 4, which is the end of travel mode. We have to set that back to the previous end of travel mode, which we recorded earlier. And at that point, now we have the end of travel mode set. We need to go back through and set the other parameters for this controller that we previously recorded. This particular case, we have a line guide. We're going to go up to parameter number 49. We're going to set the data value to 2, which is indicating that it's using a line guide input into input C, which is the serial I/O input. Press enter. Now we can select our line guide input on the front switch pattern. And that is the installation of the microcontroller chip.